Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, bring you a 2012 Canadian Football League team preview for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, presented by 13thman.com. So let's just take a look at their offense right now to see how well they can expect to play this season. After losing Kevin Glenn in the offseason, the Ticats bring over future Hall of Famer Henry Burris from Calgary. I know last year was an aberration. He's not going to throw that many interceptions this season. What they get out of a guy in Burris is a guy that has tremendous leadership, outstanding skills that can keep the play alive with his legs. If he can clean up the fumbles in the pocket, he can have a huge year for the Tiger Cats because they have some outstanding receiving options. They still have Quentin Porter as the backup, but they also have a young prospect I'm interested in Tate Forcier. Keep an eye on this young guy as he has a lot of skills that reminds me of a younger version of Kevin Glenn. Now, the running back position, you look at this guy, Terry Grant, man. I'm expecting a big year out of this guy. I think he has 1,300 to 1,400 yards this season. He has the burst you want in and out of the holes. He has the vision. He also has the ability to catch the football out of the backfield. Versatility is his strong set. I think that's something that's going to help out the Tiger Cats in his running game tremendously. Also, fullback Darrell Stevenson, the guy that brings a lot of power to the position, and also Martell Mallett. Another guy with a lot of speed, a lot of quickness, reminds some of Avon Colborn. So keep an eye on him. He should have another big year. A big year. He has some solid years with BC, but keep an eye on him as a guy that's going to come in and provide some punch out of the running game. The Ticats add Andy Fantuz in the offseason, the big wide receiver from the Saskatchewan Roughriders and the Chicago Bears. They have a lot of size at the position. Andy Fantuz is that guy that's going to come in and play right away and separate themselves as the key number one guy in this offense. But they also have a guy in Dave Stoller, consistent, may not be a burner, but is a guy that will always make the catch and move the chains. Keep an eye on Aaron Kelly out of Clemson, another guy with size, wiry guy, but can get open down the field as well. And big play Chris Williams. You got to love this guy because he always gets open, always has a knack for the big play. And also, Bakari Grant is a guy that can come in and provide some solid minutes for this offense. Like I said, these receivers have a lot of size, so they have a lot of potential. A lot of big plays down the field awaits them when you bring in a new quarterback that loves to stretch the football deep down the field in Henry Burris. So keep an eye on this receiving core. Some think they're going to take a step back, but I think this will be one of the surprise units on this Ticats roster. The offensive line was a sore spot last year, so they've gotten a lot better. Outside of Peter Dawkowski, the smartest man in Canada, so to speak, but also one of the best linemen on this roster. They bring over Nick Hennessy from BC. Adam Rogers comes over as well. Also, longtime center Tim O'Neill comes from Calgary. So you look at this offensive line, which was a weakness last year, looks to be a bit of a strength. So that's what they had to do in the offseason, get better up front, and they did exactly that. This will be a rebuilt defensive line. There was a lot of losses up front, but they still have the main cog, defensive tackle Eddie Steele, one of the tremendous playmakers they have on that defensive front. And also second-year guy Darius Powell that provides a lot of speed off the edge, a playmaker, a guy that also has the knack for getting pressure on a quarterback. But they also bring over Greg Peach from Edmonton, a defensive end. You know, Edmonton's defensive line caused a lot of problems for opposing quarterbacks, so he's going to be a valuable asset up front to help out that tremendous linebacking core. The linebacking core by far is the best unit on this roster. You look at guys like Marquise Knowlton, Ronald Williams, Jamal Johnson. Those three guys right there make enough plays that most defenses as a whole don't make all season. So between those three guys, you have three perennial all-star type of players. Also, you got a linebacker in Ray Marouz. What else does he have left in the tank? He retired last year, came out of retirement, played well. Also, they bring over a free agent from Toronto, Kevin Iben, another talented linebacker. Yannick Carter is another guy that provides a lot of depth at that position. So right here, if that defensive line can step up and hold their own, we know the linebacking core for Hamilton will make a lot of plays. I look for more plays out of the secondary. You look at talented players like Bo Smith and Marcel Young. These guys are veteran guys, always around the football, does a great job in the run game as well. But they have an up-and-coming prospect in Mark Beswick, 6'1", 200 pounds, does a great job of sizing up corners or sized up wide receivers. Milt Collins should have a better year this year, but also keep an eye on D Webb. I think D Webb is going to be the unsung hero of this defense. He's going to probably have an all-star type of season, so keep an eye on that in 2012. If they wouldn't have signed Henry Burris, this would have been a cause for concern. But getting him in here is a huge reason for optimism. This guy has the leadership skills you want as a quarterback. He's going to be a leader in that locker room, and his play on the field will also be a huge asset to this team. And also bringing over a guy that he can toss the football around to each and every game, Andy Fantuz. You have to like the potential of this offense. The running game is there. The offensive line looks to be improved. Now you bring over a future Hall of Fame quarterback, and a very talented wide receiver. You have a reason for optimism, not a cause for concern. You have to look at the defensive line. How will that rebuilt defensive line handle the pounding each and every week coming from these CFL offenses? Will they be vastly improved? Will they be a detriment? Can they keep up the consistency that they showed in the beginning parts of last season where they were just out there balling out of control? So you look at the guys, again, Eddie Steele. Can he get the rest of those guys wrapped around the same concept? And if this defensive line can hold their own, we know the back half of the defense, linebackers and secondary, will keep up their end of the bargain. I think the Ticats finished second in the East Division. I think this is the year they turn it around and make a huge run in the playoffs. Look for this team to gel. Early on in the season, they will struggle just a little bit as all the moving parts come together, but by mid-season, look for these guys to hit their stride. The offense will be explosive, and that defense will get back to what we saw early on last season. For more CFL coverage, visit footballgameplan.com/CFL, and you can also visit 13thman.com to talk more CFL football.